Okay, everyone. This is your soul brother Talib right back at you. Um, I just did a live podcast hangout with our number one soul brother Angel Snup 7, as you best know, on Reality Temple Ministries on Earth, aka Operation Exodus Mississippi, the same platform I speak from. Okay, and that video was titled All Nat Turner Wanted Was Freedom. And that was a pretty great, interesting video today on the live podcast that we did, and it's posted up on YouTube, and you could go watch it. However, at this time, I just want to make a basic random summary video before I get on with the rest of my evening. Um, you know, I want to just touch up on some things. And I know this might sound not the clear blue, but this subject here is because this has been an ongoing touching subject for quite some time, although it's this individual I met off of social media, okay, when I was still somewhat, even though by then I had left that pro-black conscious stuff alone, but however, basically, which I was really at the end of my wits with that, I'll just say that much. And I met this woman through listening to videos of Eric Muhammad of Temple 15 in Atlanta. And, this particular individual as a MGT claiming to be of the Nation of Islam, went under the name of Aliyah Muhammad. Okay, but her actual legal name is government name, rather say, is Patricia Muhammad. Excuse me, Patricia Robinson, who was based out of Toledo, Ohio. And when I first met her, it wasn't because I was trying to locate her or anything like that to get in contact with her. She took the first initiative to locate me through contact, okay? And she asked Eric Muhammad to give her my number, which at the time I didn't give him permission to do that. But neither here the less to say, and the brother had my number where he could have called me, at least at first, and asked me before he gave her my number. But however, I used to listen when he had them podcasts is going on them videos, especially off of his Facebook podcast, where he be speaking on every Sunday from behind the rostrum out of Temple 15, which some of you may know about in black social media land. And anyway, he so after he gave her my number, he she called me, and so we started, talking and stuff, and she would tell me about her experiences in the Nation of Islam from a time that she was a child, and how, you know what I'm saying, she was influenced by the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad at an early age, because the sister is kind of older than me, and I think she's somewhere like in her 60s. But anyway, she her parents were in the Nation of Islam, and then she say her when the Nation of Islam was split by War of Muhammad, they that her parents went over and followed Wabdi Muhammad, but she decided to remain a member of the Nation of Islam, or as she said, MGT. So she, was involved with the camp under Louis Farrakhan for a while, according to what she was saying, stuff like that and stuff. But I came to find out at the end of the day that, she had relationships with different brothers that wasn't so positive, and including Eric Muhammad himself, who is the minister of Temple 15, who was also once a follower of Louis Farrakhan himself. But you know, she you know what I'm saying, you know, would tell me little stuff about her relationships with different guys and all that kind of stuff. And she even would mention our number one soul brother, which is public information. Talik Ibn Rod, who y'all best know once again is number one soul brother, Angel Snup Snup 7, who she was, involved with, uh, for some time until, he found out, that she was, faulty, and that, you know what I'm saying, she tried to use him and with the help of her children and stuff and everything and stuff, and she was just trying to cause him all kind of problems. So fortunately for the brother, he got from under that situation and stuff. But and he put out a video about her, a documentary, like video about her corruption, as an individual and how she was known, and I had come to find out some more additional information about this after my dealings with her, because she tried to get me and another brother who was a member of Eric Muhammad's Temple 15 in Atlanta to come move to Toledo, you know what I'm saying, and stuff. And so, when I kind of started feeling that things wasn't right, my first instincts, told me, not to go through with the decision to move from here in Nebraska to Toledo, Ohio, because I was actually preparing myself to make that journey back east at that time. And some in my first instincts just, you know, came through. My first intuition just advised me against it, and I followed my first intuition, and I just didn't go. And I'm glad, and for the good reason that I did not go, because she I found out she wasn't gonna do nothing but try to use a brother like she used many other brothers, including Angel Snup Snup 7, and she's she's, like I said, he put out a video about her that she was very corrupt, and she was even investigated, you know what I'm saying, by the law for fraudulent criminal allegations, that she had stolen tens of thousands of dollars and stuff. So she has a history of being very fraudulent, and using people, and stuff like that, and stuff, and I mean, and she even, she was able to get me for $20, but that was it, ain't no big thing, you know. Sometimes you got to take a little, even a little bitty tiddly bit loss like that to find people out, so that ain't nothing, but she did get I think $50 or something or more out of the other brother who was affiliated at the time with Temple 15 in Atlanta. His name is Brother Reginald X, by the way. And but she was trying to, and but anyway, it's a good thing, like I said, that she didn't get a brother for more money than she could have got, because she was really, you know, a exposed opportunist, and like I said, I caught right on to it even before I found out the rest of her history, far as alleged illegal, fraudulent type of behaviors that she's known for, and I also found out that she was on drugs, because I told her some personal, intimate stuff about me, which I didn't go too deep in, of course, because at the time I never, like I said, I really didn't know the sister, and I never really met her, not even face to face, however, but at the time, like I said, she went to splurt my business out to another brother, who I met her through, that me, brother I was talking to for quite some time, even after I stopped dealing with her, and she would tell him little stuff about me, and he would tell me, what she said and stuff, and I'm not gonna mention who the brother was, but she would tell me little stuff he said, and but it come to find out, she was a drug addict and stuff. And the stuff that she would tell the brother about me, of course, was untrue. And the stuff that I told her, she would distort the information that I was giving her. So, with that said, I found out once again about, stuff that she did even when she was living in Cincinnati, Ohio, where she is supposed to be originally from. And I heard she was on drugs, and that most of her children she had was by guys that were drug dealers, or that she had sex with for crack and all that kind of stuff. So I mean, and plus she would always talk down on Africans and about why indigenous black Americans shouldn't marry Africans and all this, and how, according to the teachings of Elijah Muhammad, we shouldn't, marry Africans, which I found out was not, so accurate after all, and I come to find out that she herself had been married to some Nigerian down in her hometown of Cincinnati, Ohio. But she telling other people that they shouldn't marry Africans. How hypocritical, is that. But anyway, this type of individual, she ended up, doing the same thing that she always preached over the phone about, as far as Elijah Muhammad's teachings went, when she would always say that he told black people not to get involved with politics in America and this and that, but yet she and stuff, but yet she turned the hypocrite herself by running for a city council position in Toledo, Ohio, and from my understanding, she actually won. Now I don't know if she's still holding that position or not, but you know what I'm saying. She actually won. And from my understanding, I found out some information about her, that was not, of course, in accordance with her teachings, as she claimed, since she claimed to be a so much of a pro MGT follower of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And you know what I'm saying, and where this stuff that I was getting far sources being concerned was actually found on photo glitches in social media showing her, doing things that a Muslim MGT woman is not supposed to be doing, of course. So, it's like, and this is the reason why I'm glad that even when I was in the pro black conscious community, even when I was under the teachings of Dr. Malachi York, when they was before he switched teachings from Islam to these other different Hebrew, Kemetic, Egyptology, and other, disoriented teachings, that he had all mumble jumbled up in his complete doctrine that he taught from, that's how I got introduced to his teachings, which was through Islam, because at the time his organization was known as the Ansar Allah community, also at the same time, along with that slash, known as the Nubian Islamic Hebrew Mission as well. And even when like I said, when I embraced Islam through them teachings at first, I was, hoping that eventually one day I would get married to a sister in Islam. But fortunately, I'm glad that never, came to pass, because I saw other brothers, in that religion, as well as in the Orthodox Islam, who experienced negative issues dealing with sisters and stuff, and even brother I met in the nation, you know what I'm saying? Who was following this fraudulent so-called leader who was self-styling himself as God Allah, named Solomon Royal Jenkins, you know what I'm saying? Who was now presently on the run from the feds because of fraudulent corruption in his organization, and you know, I seen all this going on over the time that I dealt with brothers, in these different Islamic, you know what I'm saying, teaching persuasions, and I am glad, like I said, that I was spared from that drama of actually even getting married to one of these sisters in the so-called pro-black conscious community, under the auspices of Islam, whether it was the nation or under the Ansar Allah community, as I mentioned before, and even in Orthodox Sunni Islam, and I'm glad I did not get married. You know what I'm saying? Because I would have probably had to deal with the same type of similar situations more than likely, because I knew numerous brothers that were married, like I said, to sisters and they caught nothing but purity hell. And I even witnessed actually some of it taking place, because I lived with a Muslim family, when I was years ago, and when I was under them teachings, and I actually lived in the house with them, with a brother married to a sister who he had, children by and stuff like that, and I seen, the drama, and all that stuff. So I witnessed it, and I even have seen, you know, uh, unorthodox behavior among sisters in the nation taking place. So, I even before my experience of coming across this sister, I knew early on that, you know what I'm saying, it was some deep rooted issues with these females in the so-called religion of Islam. And I'm glad, like I said, that I was spared from that. And it even helped me, you know what I'm saying, to even on the general, scale base when it come to females. It helped me by, raising my conscious awareness more about how scantless these females could be. I mean, even if a brother is trying to do right by them in some type of way. And because they don't appreciate when a brother is trying to do right by them. They more used to, like, the gangster type brothers, or the brothers that just pimp them around and be slap them or whatever, and all that different type of stuff. Like I seen, like I was around those type of people when I was coming up as a child. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, they used to them type of brothers. They used to what they call roughneck type brothers. You know what I'm saying? As the Jamaicans would say. They used to them roughneck type brothers. You know. Pushing them around, abusing them, and all that. They'd rather be around them brothers than to be around a decent brother, who's trying to, be right by them, whether it's as a boyfriend or husband, as well as the father of their children or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I mean, and this is the reason why I've talked about, on other panels, even including videos on this channel here, that this video is gonna be posted on, called Eric Bell, that I you know what I'm saying, actually am very reluctant to even get involved with in a relationship with a so-called American Negro woman, or as we refer to as women of soul. You know what I'm saying? Because that should be our proper identity, since the word soul came from us as indigenous Black Americans, and not anybody else, including the slave master, who gave us these different titles that we go by, whether it's Negro, whether it's African American, Black, and all that other stuff. But anyway, like I said, we I really want to, get involved with sisters as far as a real serious relationship go, but it's hard to here in a racist society like America. And that's reason why I've talked, numerous times about hopefully and eventually, relocating to, a different country abroad, like some of these brothers I hear speaking on these other different social media panels about how they end up with successful relationships when they travel across seas to meet other different type of women from different cultures, and particularly, other darker skinned cultures, and stuff like that. And how they end up being more successful in having a relationship with a woman, even to the point of starting a family with one, and stuff like that, because of how, the woman had, because of the different morals that foreign women have, as opposed to the morals over here that American women have. So, that's where I'm at with that situation, even still to this day. Because even when I was in my early 20s, when I was into that Islam and pro black conscious stuff, I've even made a oath, as they say, to myself, that I would never marry a so-called American Negro woman. And still to this day, in my early 50s, I haven't married one, nor even had a child by one. You know what I'm saying? And gratefully, that's for a good reason. And I'm not saying this to talk down on soul sisters either, but I'm saying because of the behaviors that most of them possess, that is immoral. and I talked about it, like I said, even uh, you know, in other videos, because of how they were raised and how they've been influenced in this racist society to even look at a soul brother, with disdain and disrespect and all that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So that definitely plays its part in it as well, And I really and like I said, I've been spared a lot of drama. Now, however, those of you in social media land want to take this in the way that I'm putting this out in this video, in the way that I'm presenting it, rather to say more. So it's up to you, and that's your business. But I'm just speaking about basically my experience on how I feel about that. And that's that. And but other than that, I'm also, putting this out there to, make other soul brothers aware, hopefully that they will become aware that while they chasing after these soul sisters, they need to understand that they need to think with they upper head first instead of their lower head, as someone said in the comment section under a video that I saw yesterday relating to a situation where a sister knocked on the soul brother's door, and he wisely did not open up the door, and told her what she was looking for did not exist there at that location. But they showed in a part of the video where she had another guy with her in the background, like he was just waiting for the brother to open up the door. So it could have been a setup, to try to harm the brother or rob the brother. And this always happens, especially in a country like America. This always takes place. So these, when you're dealing with these women out here, plus these women are more desperate. They're more, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not trying to put them all in that same category. So don't get my words twisted when I say this either. But they, you know what I'm saying? They are, scantless to the point where they've gotten even more scantless than brothers that's scantless. I mean, they're very scantless. You know what I mean? All you got to do is get on line and on social media every day, and they go to proof in the pudding for itself. So I ain't got to speak no further on that. I mean, like they say, in a lot of cases, the truth is so self-evident that it don't need no additional support. But like I said, you got to understand that these people, you know what I'm saying, these sisters out here, is a lot of them older as well as younger. They are up to no good. And that sister that I had mentioned to you about, who went by the name of Aliyah Muhammad under the auspices of the Nation of Islam teachings, who's known, publicly, uh, and as Patricia Muhammad, which is her government given name. Like I said before, you know, uh, is scantless, and she's in her 60s. So it's no different than, and it's even sisters that's even older than her that has them same, unfortunate negative ways about themselves. So I mean, age, like someone used to say, like R. Kelly and Aaliyah used to say, age ain't nothing but a number, and that's true. That's definitely true. Age is nothing but a number, especially when it comes to stuff like that. So, I don't just judge younger sisters. I just don't, not say judge, but I don't, just speak on younger sisters like that. I speak on older females as well, because we got to remember they get their influence from the older females or the older generations. And There go your vicious cycle right there, especially among dark skinned people with soul being concerned in this country. But you know, I also want to touch on something too as well, that you know, I'm at the point where, you know, right now, as I am getting more intertwined in this Mississippi campaign, as far as reaching out to our brothers and sisters on you know, social media, you know, because for a while, you know, I was in a period of being in a sabbatical, you know, but it seemed like, you know, it's I'm seeing that it is certain type of people, you know, with a good spirit that is actually listening to the message that we're trying to bring with this Mississippi campaign ideal, and that you know, that if actually we can, you know, get them on board all the way, that maybe we can actually get something kicked off with this, you know. And you know, like they say, it don't hurt to try, you know. I mean, you know, but we gonna keep on with this Mississippi campaign until, you know, we die, or until we actually become successful with it, you know. And you know, because our people do need a safe haven, like taking control of a state like Mississippi, and then even to the point of taking control of a state like Alabama and Georgia, you know, where our people can have a support base, solid support base behind them, where we can gain more respect and power from, you know, because the sources that we have is not enough. Even in terms of money, it's not enough. Like I said before in the recent other video I was in, you know, that they don't respect your money account, your bank account. They don't care nothing about that. They showed you that with Bill Cosby. They showed you that with Michael Jackson. They even was attempting to show you that with Kobe Bryant, which they came close to doing. They you know, they showed you that with O.J. Simpson, you know, and Prince, you know what I'm saying? And the list goes on, you know what I'm saying? They don't care nothing about your money. You still an N word. And that's all that you know, and long as they could use them, you know, for they bidding to, you know, profit from, you know, more than what they even make, far as whatever talents them brothers and sisters got, you know what I'm saying? Then that's all that matters to the oppressor, you know? But other than that, they don't care nothing about your money. You still an N-word. But if we have a state behind us, you know, then eventually it could lead to us even having a country behind us if we do it right. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm talking about thinking on a larger scale. You know, but see, most of these people, especially like someone said earlier, in the pro-black conscious community, they really ain't interested in that. And the so-called average Negro is not neither, because they comfortable with living as a slave. You know, and basically, like I said, we they're so comfortable with living as a slave that, you know, they would do anything, even in their power, to maintain that subservient position, even if they got to step on the toes of other soul brothers and sisters, especially soul brothers and sisters like us from the platform we speak from, that want real freedom or true liberation for us all. It's 44 plus million. So, you know, and I was hearing a brother today who was on the panel with us, and his brother, you know, he made a very you know, profound statement, which is definitely the truth. You know, that if people like Nat Turner was around today, when it come to these pro-black conscious people claiming they want separation, or they want liberation, he wouldn't even trust them. And that's true. People like him, Denmark, Vesey, David Walker, and other, true freedom fighters, of our past history in this country as a people, would not even want nothing to do with these type of Negroes today because they would know we're not serious. You know what I'm saying? And more so today than even during their time when they couldn't trust traders. They definitely wouldn't want to trust us because there's more traders amongst us as a people, even when it was during that time, because we got so comfortable with, this slave subservient condition that we're living in. Once we started gaining a few trinkets and all this after integration kicked in and stuff, and all of a sudden now we think we done arrived and that we free and we can even go anywhere we want to and ain't got to worry about nothing. Well, of course, on my own personal journey, I've come to find out that that's not so accurately true. And in general, for us as dark skins people, soul in this country, that is not so accurately true as well. So even when it comes to traveling and moving around America, that's not true. Okay, because I still know it's geographical places right now in this country, even right where I'm at here in the Midwest, or whether no matter what coast you on, north, south, west, east coast, you know what I'm saying? It's certain places in America, if you are there, actually, I'm talking about actual municipalities in certain counties. If you are there where there are not many black people or black people at all, if the police don't get a hold of you first, you might end up like an Emmett Till. You know what I'm saying? Or type of situation like that. Even today in 2020. So that's the reality of the America that we're living in. You know, and like I say, even on my own personal journey of experience, I've come to find out that even somewhat in what you call the hard way, although I lived through it and survived it, but sometimes, when we think, like someone say that, doo-doo don't stink, we got to, like they say, sometimes a hard head make a soft ass, and that's true. And I usually don't curse in this video, but I'm just making a point to point out the truth. Like, yeah, uh, things is real, and like I said, it's a lot of places we're not wanted in this country, geographically. I'm not talking about just no certain type of neighborhoods here and there. I'm talking about cities, whole counties, stuff like that. And even in some of these states, you know, some of these states in general, like Oregon, by the way, here in the Midwest, certain states here in the Midwest, Idaho, further out west, Utah, places like that. Wyoming, black person better not get caught slipping. They even had I remember it was a few years ago, this was even under the Obama administration when the NAACP had came out with a memorandum warning dark-skinned people soul that traveling as a black person through the state of Mississippi, through the state of Missouri, that you're traveling at your own risk. And now I used to live in the state of Missouri, and I never even thought about that. I live, matter of fact, in two different areas in the state of Missouri, as a full-fledged resident. And at the time, even then, I didn't even know how unsafe it was to be black in the state of Missouri. But they actually said that if you traveled through the state of Missouri being black, you were traveling at your own risk. And of course, I mean, all we got to do is look at the events that has unfolded, even with the Ferguson situation, with soul brother Michael Brown getting murdered by a racist cop. We could see that Missouri is definitely not a so friendly state when it comes to black people. But I did notice even when I was living in the Kansas City area as well that it was separation, segregated. I definitely sensed the segregated atmosphere there. There were certain parts in Kansas City that if you were black, it just even didn't feel right even stopping there just to get gas to put in your car or to stop and go into Walmart's just to shop. I mean, it was that, serious even then during the time I stayed there. So, but I didn't know, like I say, to the extent that if you actually traveled through the state of Missouri, that you were traveling through your own, you were traveling at your own risk. I did not realize that. And that's like I said, that's that's very bad, especially in the so-called 21st century or present day America, when you can't even travel through certain states because you got to remember during segregation, they had what they called that memorandum. It was a book that they actually had for soul people whenever they get ready to travel, especially on the highway when they traveling through different parts of the country, especially in the South, and they had to watch out where they had to go to and all this and that. And see, our people, when this when the civil rights thing came through, our people lost touch with reality on that. It may not be legal according to the law books for them to deny you not to go to certain places, but it's still an unwritten law in the land that, certain places, you know, you just can't go to if you're a dark-skinned descendant of a slave born in America. You just can't go. And that's just a fact. And you could try it all you want to. Matter of fact, I even heard like experiences with black truck drivers, and we know that our soul brother, Angel Snup Snup 7 is a truck driver himself. Our number one soul brother is a truck driver himself, and he's even mentioned on live podcasts is where he's traveled to places like Montana when he went to pick up a load or to deliver a load, and they had asked him questions like, when was he gonna be leaving out of town? Them type of kind of strange questions. I mean, this is we talking about in the 21st century with black people still having to deal with this type of stuff. You see what I'm saying? So this is not no game. I mean, this brother here, it ain't like he was going there to visit nobody or nothing like that. He was actually going there to drop off a load or to pick up a load. He drives trucks and he has to deal with this type of stuff. Just or traveling on the road while on the job. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, like I said, this is not this is why it's very important that we get with this Mississippi campaign so that we can take control of a state or two. so we could be spared from this kind of stuff. So when black people in any part of the country from coast to coast is having issues and they need to come on down to Mississippi and seek refuge, then they have a place to come to and seek refuge, because right now we ain't got that type of situation going for us, you know. But it's quite funny because we've been here in this country for over 400 years under these slave-like conditions, but you got other immigrants and people who come from other countries, and they could come to these other cities, certain places in the United States, to other cities around the country, and actually be spared from being deported, because though local authorities in those cities would not turn them over to the federal government, to like ICE, to deport them back to wherever country they came from. So that's why most of them go to these sanctuary cities, and stuff like that. So they got sanctuary cities for immigrants. But you mean to tell me we can't even have a sanctuary state, as indigenous black Americans who are dark skinned descendants of slaves born in America? I mean, come on, that's crazy, but we can do that. If we unite, we can definitely do that. If we get our heads from between our butt cheeks, we can actually do this and make something happen. We can actually make something happen to where we can actually gain true liberation like we've never known before as a people in this country. But we got to stop being scared and take that chance. Because, I mean, look, we already taking a chance with living a life daily as a slave, not knowing if we gonna make it, just because we are the so-called N-word. I mean, so we might as well die trying to be a free people instead of continuing on being a slave, and it's just that simple, I mean, I don't know how more simple I could put that, but it is what it is, as someone would say, and like I said, we have no no audacity or no courage. But like I said in earlier on the live podcast that I did with our soul brother Angel Snup Snup 7, and a couple of people that were also on the podcast live with us. Like you say, hey, we we might as well just yeah, you know, be fight to be free. Because it don't make sense for us to keep living in this situation that we're in. It's nothing comfortable about it. Being a slave is nothing comfortable about it. It's nothing pleasant about it. It's nothing you know what I'm saying? We living in a turmoil situation, whether we realize it or not, that we're still actually looked at as 3/5 of a human. That's why they could get away with so much with killing us. I mean, come on, do the math. Don't no other nationality in this country get dealt with like that, much as we do. Not even the Hispanics, not even the Africans, not even the West Indians. I'm just referring to other people with darker skin groups that's in this country. Just to let you know that they're tolerated more better than the indigenous black Americans, as far as us as people with soul are concerned, And I mean, we need to wake up. Um, but and the brother that was on the live podcast with us, he's of Caribbean descent, from what he was telling us while we was on the live hangout, and He had mentioned that his parents had came from this Caribbean country uh, of Grenada, and I do remember how they struggled down there in gaining independence back in the 80s under their leader Maurice Bishop, who had got assassinated at the helm uh, or hands of this government here in the United States, who is pretty much behind it. And he had mentioned that when his parents got here, they did not teach him, even though because they did not know about the history as far as Black America was concerned, nor even the civil rights movement. And so, like he said, he was left on his own to figure that stuff out. And see, this is, like I said, this is a warning. This should be a warning to all, even Black immigrants who decide to come to this country. You know what I'm saying? Our experience as indigenous Black Americans should be like a beacon light to them, as they say in religion, to show them that America ain't no heaven paradise at all. If anything, for dark skinned people in this country, it never has been. And like I say, the foundation of what this country was built on proves that every day, it's like, how much stuff is it going to take us to realize to wake ourselves up so we could get up out of this hell? And like I said earlier in the video, that by the time we do figure it out, it might be too late, because, we are not in a position to have a defense against what these races really intend on doing once they fully can have their way with us. This is why so many of them got out there like they did and voted for Trump. And that mean, even if it meant destroying this country and the economy of this country, it was all about, and it still is all about, keeping the Negro in his place. That's what that's all about. You got to read through the rest of the BS and recognize that that's what it's all about. If this country fall on its face, see, you got to understand the mentality of the races. They don't care even if this country falls to its face, long as the Negro don't have nothing in this country. You know what I'm saying? That's, what with all that. That's where that concerns them. Long as Negroes don't get nothing. You see what I'm saying? Since they always want to complain about the reason why everything is going bad in this country is because of Black people or whatever, you know what I'm saying? That's what it's all about. If we getting too much welfare or we getting too much, this or that, then it's our fault. But yet they benefit off of all the social programs in this country, whether it be getting the EBT, food stamps, Social Security, SSI, Medicaid. They majorly benefit off it more than anybody else in this country. Matter of fact, they say more Caucasians get food stamps than any other population group of people in this country. And that's in their own federal data statistics. So, I'm not making this up. You know what I'm saying? I'm not making none of this up. I'm telling it just like it is. And whether people want to accept it or not, you know, that's just on you. You know, like they say, that'd just be your loss for not waking up and taking your own freedom and destiny into your own hands, which our liberation of soul anniversary is going to be based on this coming next month. you know. So like I said, we need to really wake up and understand what position we are in as a people, and stop all this fakery and all this craziness and stuff that's going on, and put that to the side at least, so that we could achieve one common goal, which is called complete liberation for once and for all, from under this nearly 500-year slave-like condition that we still find ourselves in today here in this country. I mean, you know what I'm saying? And one way also to look at the slave-like condition that we find ourselves in is called the prison system or prison industry. And like I said, even like I said earlier today on the live podcast with our number one soul brother, that we don't even have to be incarcerated to realize that we are in slavery. I mean, this is a slave country. Wake up. This is definitely a slave country. And if we don't understand that and come up to utilizing the tools we need, especially to get this Mississippi campaign off the ground, since this is our only basic last hope shot, because everything else we've tried, has failed us, even including the civil rights movement, So, I mean, like I say, you could keep taking this for a joke, but hey, you're going to keep getting slapped with reality in your face. And I'm going to just say this too before I close. Just because, and I voted for Joe Biden, but that's so we can have room to work with. Because if Trump had got elected to be in there for another 4 years, we would definitely be finished. We wouldn't even have no chance to where we could actually work on getting the Mississippi campaign off the ground. But it's not about waiting on Joe Biden or nobody, not even Kamala Harris, to do anything for us. We got to do it ourselves. And if they see we serious, they may even want to help us. That's how serious this is. That's why no one takes us serious. Because we don't take ourselves serious. We don't believe in ourselves as a people. So no one takes us serious. And there you go. So like I said before, we got to start recognizing that, yes, we got another president coming in. After this, dingbag leaves out the White House on January the 20th of next year. But I tell you what, don't hold your breath and wait on everything to change because he's in there, or because his black vice president under him is in there. Don't wait on that. We have to take our destiny into our own hands. Where, like I said, then once we could take control of a state, then we could really demand them to do some things. You know what I'm saying? But we're not even in a position to do that. Like the brother said earlier, that's where our vote will really count. If we could take power by taking control of a state, that's when our vote could really count then. And with that said, I'm going to be Audi 5000. Peace.